In this video, we're recapping a specific episode of Kim Possible called Stop Team Go, which is the 12th episode of Season 4. In this episode, Shego turns good, which I think is really interesting and makes for a very interesting episode overall. It helps us see her other side, her good side. Let's get started. Shego used to be a hero, but she left her brothers because she didn't enjoy it anymore and thought being a hero wasn't as exciting. So, she decided to become a villain. Back when they were Team Go, they defeated a bad guy named Electronique. In this episode, Electronique breaks out of jail and wants revenge on Team Go. She steals a device called the Attitudinator that can reverse personalities and turn them into evil followers. She lures them to a certain spot to do it, but she doesn't realize that Shego isn't part of Team Go anymore. So, the effect is the opposite, her brothers become evil, and Shego becomes good because she was evil before. Next time we see Shego, she's at Middleton High teaching in Kim's class, which Kim finds pretty weird. Shego introduces herself as Miss Go, and one weird part is that the principal Mr. Barkin starts to like her. There's also a subplot where Dr. Draken tries to open a pickle jar because Shego isn't there to do it for him. Shego becomes good, and Kim can't believe it when she's caught by her evil brothers. Kim goes to help her, they hang out and eat together, and since Shego has nowhere else to go, Kim invites her to stay with her for a while, which makes Shego really happy. Meanwhile, Dr. Draken is still struggling to open that pickle jar, but he's failing miserably. The next day, Kim gives Shego a ride to school and even hugs her, which makes Kim feel really weird about the whole situation. It's strange for her because Shego, her old enemy, is now a good person, and they're even hanging out and living together. When Shego gets to class, she finds an apple on her desk left by Mr. Barkin. As Kim and Shego spend more time together, they start to bond. They go shopping and do other things together, while Shego's brothers who turned bad, are doing what Electronique tells them to do, like stealing stuff. Kim and Shego's friendship grows, but Ron starts to find it annoying and weird since they used to fight all the time. Eventually, Electronique figures out that Shego wasn't part of Team Go anymore and wasn't good. So the personality reversal device had the opposite effect on her. This means Shego didn't become bad, so Electronique orders her brothers to capture Shego. Dr. Draken still can't open the pickle jar, even with the help of all his henchmen. Shego gets asked out on a date by Mr. Barkin and doesn't know what to do, so she asks Kim for advice. Eventually, she asks Kim and Ron to join them on a double date. The date is pretty awkward. Later, Shego and Kim see on TV that her brothers are causing chaos in Go City, so they decide to go help, along with Ron. Dr. Draken still can't open the jar. Eventually, Shego, her brothers, Kim, and Ron get into a fight, and there's a lot of chaos. In the end, her brothers become good again, and they manage to defeat Electronique, putting her back in prison. It seems like Shego was going to stay good, but by accident, Ron activates the personality reversal device again, and she turns evil. This happens just as she was about to confess something to Kim, but she never gets to say it because she turns bad again. She flees with Dr. Draken, supposedly for an important mission, which we know is really about opening the pickle jar. What's interesting is that even though she's back to being bad, she still remembers all the moments she shared with Kim and even had photos of them. However, she burns them because it's not possible for her to hang on to them given her life as a villain. That's pretty much the summary of this episode. It's really interesting to see this side of Shego when she becomes good, but honestly, I prefer her as a villain. Still, it's great to see her in a different light.